No covering whatsoever. People got to sit in that bridling hot sun, waiting for the bus, and people struggling with their things to get inside the bus. Famous, we have to do better than this. Simple, basic, fundamental things are not even being adhered to. Basic things, nothing expensive. You can't even have a shade where these people have to sit. No kind of consideration whatsoever. You see how bad the roads are. I hear them talking about all kind of road improvement in the Family Islands. And all I have to do is look at New Providence and see how wacky the roads are over here. No proper markings on the streets, no reflectors, none whatsoever. But yet they're talking about road improvement. All you can see is blackness, and the lighting is extremely poor in many areas of New Providence. And sometimes they want to use the other people's light off a building where they have bright lights, and they cut off their lights and allow people to wake with the lighting from that particular building. And Bahamians, we need improvement in the quality of lighting. It's very dark out there in the nighttime, and you can get into serious accidents. And we have had some people who've gone into some serious accidents. They were either killed or seriously injured just because of carelessness. Let me just say a few other words before I bring my special guest on today. I've been hearing about Grand Bahama. And I want to talk about Grand Bahama tomorrow. And I want the people in Grand Bahama to talk to me about what's happening down there, because I keep hearing all kind of twisted stories. Do not get all uptight or excited over an announcement because somebody says something to you. And we have had people who have told lies before. Amos, you've been through that. Are you going to get caught up in that crap again? For years and years and years it has happened. You ain't learned sense yet? The man doesn't say they need to fix the airport before they can do anything. They say they were supposed to deal with the Lucaya Hotel. They're taking it down, Bahamians. The man told us he was to tell us when the money was in the bank. The facility has been sold. Reportedly, it has been sold because we ain't sure what happened. Where's the money? How much money was paid? Do you know whether we have that money, yes or no? And so, Bahamians, we are not getting accurate and precise information on issues that affect the people of Grand Bahama about the airport and about the hotel. Now I'm hearing all this flurry of activity. Boy, get ready. Grand Bahama is on the move. What kind of move? I want you people in Grand Bahama to think about that for tomorrow, because I'll be asking you to speak to that. You live there. See, what frustrates me is when people live in a particular area and their eyes are so closed, they cannot even see right in front of their hand. Can't see it. So what's wrong with us? People come with all kind of crappy talk, smooth talk, and constantly mislead and deceive the people. Let me tell you this, Bahamians. This election is going to be high rigged with deception. Tremendous deception. Deception the like you've never seen before. You think you saw it in the past. Wait till you see this election. The tremendous deceit. What did I say to you, Bahamians? I told you to put your trust in God, the Holy Bible, and the Constitution of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. You can examine the documents the people put out, the independent candidates, the various political parties. What is it that the PLP could tell you after being in the House of Assembly and the Senate for 70 years next year? What else did they tell you? What other strategy they could come up with? Look at what they say they were supposed to do and have not done it in the current plan they say they put out. What else they could tell you, Bahamians? You mean to tell me they ain't got enough sense to see that people are going back, digging up them old things and twisting it around and putting it in and giving you the same regurgitated thing? Is that what you want, Bahamians? You mean to tell me you ain't got enough sense to figure that out? That you are being hoodwinked? And notice the arrangements by certain families in this country. Linking up. Politics makes strange bad fellows. That's true. But who gets left out? The constituents in these constituencies get crap all over them. And it happens every time when there's an election. You notice the flurry of activities. 18 months. This is going to be finished in 18 months. That means that's just an announcement. That's all that is. You have seen hardcore evidence. And see, the problem with you Bahamians is you forget too quickly. That's the problem. So they come back and give you some crap over and over and over and over again, and you get lost right in it. You're not even thinking for yourself anymore. Maybe how we get like this. We're not even thinking straight anymore. We've left God out of our understanding. You think we can handle it on our own intellect? You stay right there. They'll drown you with your own intellect because you do not trust God. When God tells you something about politics, you better believe it because that's exactly what it is. Don't mind the crappy talk they will give you and say they're this and say that, saying the next thing, which is contrary to what God says. And God tells you the kind of people you need to have in place to run a decent, well-ordered society. Only God can give you that. No political party can give you that. All you have to do is check the record. You have a political party that's been in the House of Assembly and the Senate for 70 years. What have they done with the 70 years, Bahamians? A lot of you don't even know that. That's how long they were knocking around this place over and over and over and over again. And Bahamians, that's what you've done. Now, the F&M, they've been there more than 50 years, in and out, in opposition and in government, the two major parties. So what the heck they could tell you today in 2025 that they've not told you before? All you have to do is go and dig up what they told you in the past. But see, a lot of you don't do that. You're talking about, I can wait, see what they're going to say now. There isn't anything new that the PLP and the F&M could tell me, because I've been monitoring them for decades, and the F&M. I listen very carefully, you know, and I got the records. I could go and pull them myself. I got the last one, and this one's supposed to come what they say they're going to be doing, and they're going to give out their candidates. Why are we taking so long? Bahamians, the same old tricks and strategies by political personalities keep falling on the constituents in their particular constituency. You ain't getting none of the money, you know. You think you're getting some of that, eh? You stay right there. You don't need any money to go into the box and put an X against a particular personality. All you got to do is clean yourself up, dress nice and neat. You go in there and make your X. They ain't giving you no money for that. So who's getting the money? When the parties collect money from whoever they may be, because we have no campaign finance laws in place. So who they getting money from? You don't know. And no party, as much as they talk that crap, not one of them is willing to tell you who their people are, who's sponsoring them. There are ways and means of finding out, you know. There are no secrets around here. Nothing is secret in this country anymore. Everything is going to be ripped down bare right in front of your face. And you're going to see the real character of these people. And it's going to be very ugly. Don't say I didn't warn you, because it's on its way now. And the only people going to get hurt are the constituents themselves. And you need to wake up, Bahamians, because you're going to be the one to get the messy end of the stick being used by political personalities. They're going to ride you and use you again if you let them. But you should learn sense by now. Bahamians, has already started. And you will have this party attacking that party, and they're not looking at their own weaknesses and shortcomings. And all of them are imperfect human beings. They go through the same bodily processes just like everybody else. Only, I can tell you right now, some have far more difficulty in being able to help themselves. Do you understand how serious that is? It's on both sides. We need to look at the harsh reality of who we are dealing with, Bahamians. You put individuals on a pedestal as if they're gods. And God say, okay, I can fix that too. Stop worshiping mortal flesh and blood, skin and bone. I thought we would have learned that. 52 years later as an independent nation, we ain't learned it yet. When we can learn it, Bahamians? I'm not saying you must get hostile with political candidates. I'm not saying that at all. But you need to watch what they are doing to you and stop allowing them to ride you and use you for personal gain. You ain't learned that yet. You better learn it, Bahamians. Because we do not know, well, at least as it is now, unless God tells us in advance who will win the next general election, how it will come out. The point is, you're going to have a lot of tricksters, a lot of lies, a lot of hypocrisy, a lot of deceit. Worse than the last election. You think the last election was bad? You ain't seen nothing yet. Just stick around, Bahamians. If you allow them to ride you, they will ride you to your grave. That's how serious they are. They'll suck every ounce of blood, every drop of blood they'll get out of you for their own selfish purposes. That's why God says in the book of Psalms 29 verse 2, with the righteous in authority, the people rejoice. Do you have righteous representation in this country? If that is so, where's the rejoicing? You see anybody rejoicing? Famous, all you have to do is look at the evidence in your constituency. I've been trying to get you to do that over 1 year ago now. And some of you have answered the question. I appreciate that. But the point is, if you tell me nothing has happened in 52 years, do you know what you're saying to me? We've spent billions of dollars over that 52-year span, and no real tangible benefits for the constituents in these particular constituencies. You mean tell me was wasting time all that time? Talking about we have an election? And you cannot see any measurable improvement in the quality of life? We still have murders, you know. Look at the rapes. Look at the sexual offenses. I mean, just today, even people who are supposed to be law enforcement personnel don't know how to keep the clothes on, messing up with people's children. Huh? Parents, be very careful who you have dealing with your children, because you won't even have them either. They'll take them away from you and abuse them and mistreat them. I just wish every child had parents like my mother and father. Let me tell you something. They were so protective. 9 pigeons of their own and 3 grand pigeons. Total of 12 pigeons in the house. The grand pigeons came very later. But the point is, my mother had 5 boys. And we had an open porch. And she would put us in a spot, say, you stay right here till I come back. You dare not move out of that spot where mommy put you. She got to find you right where she put you there. And you stay there. Parents have to discipline their children. I remembered in school, we had a class where you have 45 minutes, fold your hands, put your finger on your lips. I don't know if they do that in schools today. Children are so fidgety now. We were told and taught to sit quietly. When adults came into the room, you sit quietly unless they call you. You stay right where you are unless you are called. But today, children jump up and say all manner of things against people. We don't have that discipline anymore. And I am very disappointed that even among family members, I see where that discipline is falling apart. Because there are things my mother and father would not tolerate. That's how they were. But we have to carry it forward, Bahamians. We cannot allow things to break up because the country will be no good to us. And we can't afford that. We have too many problems. Too many problems. And I cry about that very regularly. See how we're losing our males? They're not even getting as young as I am. What happened to them? So who will be the future of this country? Who will be the future of this country, Bahamians? If we keep losing these young males, little children getting molested by adult males. Come on, man. When this foolishness going to stop? And all you hear is an investigation. That was get me very angry. Investigation. Well, how many police officers you have investigating all these things? The police got a whole pile of things they investigate. Now, they may run into some roadblocks with some of those things. I can understand that. How do we protect the children, Bahamians? We have Mr. Valentino Brown here. We're going to talk about crime and politics. Where does it fit in, Bahamians? You've been electing people for 52 years in this independent nation. And I have not seen any decrease in terms of conditions in this country. And when I say that, I'm talking about problems that would have been solved, and you have to see clear-cut benefits that come to you as constituents in that particular constituency. I don't see it, Bahamian. I've been asking the question. And everyone who answered it says, Professor, no major constituency problems have been solved. So what the heck were we doing for 52 years? Electing people to do what? And yet they want to talk about decrease here and decrease there. Yeah, you may have a slight decrease if the animal isn't hungry enough to do some more damage. When the lion roars, everybody trembles. So you have sometimes spurts in criminal activity and it drops a little bit and they think they're having success. But people are still dying, Bahamians. If last August you had 20, no, let's say June. Last June you had 20. And this June you have 10. 20 plus 10, that's 30. Because you got 30 dead people on the ground. Okay? Now, some will say you had a decrease this June because you had 10 less. We supposed to have people dying like this? Is that the way we can look at life? How can you tell that to families who have lost loved ones, lost them, and still waiting 10 years later for the case to come up? What kind of crap is that? Don't you know people just forget, their memories fade, and then when that happens, you can't get the kind of conviction you should get. Then the criminal is walking loose again to commit more criminal activity. Bahamians, you have to do something about this, you know. You cannot keep waiting on this system that is so polarized, that is so weak. And there's something you can do about it. That's the wonderful thing about living in the Bahamas. We are not exercising our constitutional authority, our constitutional powers, our constitutional freedoms, our constitutional privileges. We're not doing that. We listen to them other fellas talking foolishness and nonsense. We remember that crap. But when it comes to standing up and making things better, all of a sudden we get lost. Let me stop. I got to get Valentino Brown in. Because I'll talk till Christ come back. Don't mind me. Because there's so much to cover. Valentino Brown, welcome to Express Yourself on the Global Radio Network.
Good evening to all the listeners. And it's always a pleasure to be on Express Yourself, Global 99.5. You and your producer. It's just a we'd have 20 or 30 murders in the month of August, and then next month we'd have 10. But when you really look at it, at the end of the year, we're going to finish with 100 plus murders.
Yes.
So Commissioner Shanton Knowles is only doing what all police commissioners do in order to give some type of verbal, verbal assurity to try to persuade the Bahamian people that, that the fear of crime also was mentioned, that the fear of crime is not rampant no more in the country because of the programs and operation that the police are doing. I give the credit now to the police for walking the streets. They're walking the streets, Mr. Thompson. I live in the inner city community. They're walking the streets from morning to night. And I'm not saying it's going to make a big change, but the presence, the presence is good as long as they're not harassing law-abiding citizens who themselves are sitting on the side of the road. I give them a plus for that. But the fear of crime has never gone nowhere. So what the commissioner is saying about the fear of crime is gone out the ears of the Bahamian people. That can be far, far, far from the truth because the fear is real. Most people don't want to come outside no more. People don't want to have parties no more. So it's very, very real, Mr. Thompson. So it's just a pleasure to be on this wonderful station.
Well, I appreciate that. I'm going to let my producer play that tape. I'm going to ask him to find that tape again, what the current Madam Commissioner had mentioned.
Yes, sir.
We're going to pick that to pieces,
Yeah, you can pick it apart.
Because I am going to ask her one question. What major national crimes have been solved by the Royal Bahamas Police Force on behalf of the Bahamian people? And here are the clear-cut benefits that come to the Bahamian people as a result of these major national crime problems having been solved. That's what I want the commissioner to do, to answer.
Oh.
Because you see, the thing is, you could sit and read statistics all day. When you talk to people who have actually had people murdered in their family, those statistics mean nothing to them. When people have had their wives raped, their sisters raped, their aunts raped, their daughters raped, those statistics mean nothing to them.
No, it does not.
Okay? So we have to look at it from that aspect as well.
Yes, sir.
Where is the police protection that we're supposed to have? How the police supposed to protect me?
Just not enough there.
I have said publicly that crew right down there at Central Police Station, that waitlist crew,
Mm,
they do not assist the people of Fort Castle.
mm.
They do not respect the people of Fort Castle. I can tell Shanta knows that right to her face.
Wow. And you're a leader, sir. Your word is like gold.
All they got to do is ask anybody in there,
Yes, sir.
and they will tell them. See, I just watch these things, you know.
Mm-hmm.
The only time you see the police in there is when the tourists come.
Wow.
And the tourists want to walk all over the friggin' road,
No
getting in
guidelines.
the way, getting in the way of residents who have to drive those narrow streets
Yeah,
right in Fort Castle.
yeah.
Then you got the fella in the four-wheeler, no doors, no windows, nothing. Almost run me down.
So
I had to quickly get out of the way.
help
He
that-
come dashing out this yard
Mhm.
at full speed.
Help that regulation put in place for the resident who live in the community, and also to give the tourists instruction on how to walk the roads and direction as well. Because there's a big problem with directions for the tourists, because a lot has be asked, a lot as we walk. Mr. Thompson, they ask you where the Fort Castle is or where the
Yes.
66 steps is. And sometimes that's eyes be by McDonald's.
Right.
And they have this map, but this map is not directing them because they really can't use the map like how, because the map ain't really showing you exactly where to go, just pointing this way. So they get lost.
They
So
do
we
get
need,
lost.
we need an innovative ways, like how you talked about.
Yes.
Make sure that when the guys are driving the four-wheelers, he know that it is a community. He have to drive with due care and caution, probably 5 miles per hour on the tourists who are walking, to let them know that you got to walk on the side because this is the right-hand side of the road and this is the left-hand side of the road. It's a two-way
Exactly.
street, and you have to be
Yes.
more careful because in the Bahamas, we drive on the right-hand side and on
Left-hand side.
left-hand side.
Yes.
So to make sure to stay on the side of the road behind the white line on the side of the road.
Even right where you have East Street
Yes,
and
sir.
Bay Street. The light is green and you want to get out. And you got this whole army of tourists crossing the road.
Yes, they just
What
don't
kind
know.
of crap is that?
They just don't know. They just don't know.
Well, then whose fault is that?
It's a Ministry of Tourism fault.
Why the heck should I be inconvenienced
No, you should not.
when I'm trying to get to work?
You're correct, sir.
Huh?
It's the Ministry of
That
Tourism.
doesn't make any sense.
Yes.
They need to tell them and let them know when
Yes.
the light is red, they could cross.
Yes.
When the light is green for me to get out.
Yes.
Why should I have to be waiting there? Then the light changes again. It goes back to red.
Yes, sir.
I can't move.
You're completely correct, sir.
I
Completely
find that
correct.
to be very frustrating.
Yes.
You don't tell these visitors to stay to the left. You got the Queen's staircase.
Hmm.
Let them come up or go down, stay to the left.
Yes.
Because those steps are steep.
Yes.
They haven't opened up the other area where they
Yes.
had the steps for young people like myself, where we could get down a little bit easier. All right? They
Yes.
make life very difficult because those steps are very steep.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
And one slip,
You
you
could
could fall
and hurt
on
you.
your face.
Yes.
And you know, the hospital ain't got no bed. You already know.
Oh Lord.
Huh?
Yes, sir.
I was born outside the hospital, but I don't want to be no patient there
Why? Because the conditions.
because of the conditions that they're in.
Wow.
And so you got people who don't seem to understand. There's no law, there's no order. And that gets me very upset.
Yes.
And the police in the area, they do not assist the residents of Fort Castle. In fact, when they be having things on Bay Street, do you know they block up the 3 entrances into Fort Castle?
Mhm.
What kind of crap is that? What the heck am I to do if they're having an event on Bay Street or even at police headquarters?
Mhm.
Because they never invite the people of Fort Castle to anything they have over there.
Mhm.
You got people from Andros, you got people from Grand Bahama, people from all the different islands when Chantanose was being coronated
Sworn in.
as commissioner of police. I knew about her swearing in the day before.
Mhm.
That's when I knew. We didn't know nothing before. But all these people were there. From all over the country were there. I'm sure the young girls in Fort Castle would have liked to have been there to see what the ceremony was like. But we were not invited. But you got people from Life Key who were there. People from Old Fort Bay who were there. And so these are the kind of things that happen. And we simply show contempt for the average Bahamian.
Mhm.
And this has been going on over and over and over and over again. It needs to change.
Yes, sir.
And these are the things that people need to look at and stand up to and say, Madam Commissioner, it has to change. That's what I'm going to let her know.
Mm.
I think we have,
Yes.
we're going to go to a break. This is Professor Sidney McArdle, Walter Thompson on the Global Radio Network, 99.5 FM. My special guest, Mr. Valentino Brown. We're talking about crime today. And tomorrow I want to talk about Grand Bahama. Because Grand Bahama, you need to tell me what's going on. Because I'm hearing all kind of crappy things. All kind of things supposed to be done in 18 months, 1 year and 6 months. That's what they tell me. All these announcements being made. You think an announcement could do anything for you? We've heard it before, Bahamians. Go back and check the record. And there's one big dancing party there just recently about the sale of the Lukai Hotel. We know how much money the government collected for it because they ain't tell us. Where's the money? But yet the people were dancing in the streets, say they were having good things. This is Professor Sidney McArdle, Walter Thompson on the Global Radio Network, 99.5 FM. We'll be back after the break. FM. My special guest, Mr. Valentino Brown. He is a community personality in the Bain and Grantstown area. He's helping with those persons in there. Brother Brown, how are things in Bain and Grantstown?
Like I say, it takes a village, to raise a community.
Yes.
And, we're far from that. We have a long way to go, Mr. Thompson. There's a lot of people out there looking for work,
Yes.
want empowerment, cannot find it, So I'm coming up with my strategic idea on what can make a difference in the community,
Yes.
as far as to say small business.
Yes.
I think that's the step. That's a step we need to go in, so we could go in the right direction.
Yeah,
towards
that's a
empowering
positive
people.
step.
I think most importantly is also the poverty issue. And I think that is the major issue, because I think that's affect us across the board. I
Yeah.
think as long as poverty exists in this country, we're gonna continue to be at this pace. Half of the year already gone, and we're close to 50 murders.
Yeah.
We're on our way to 100. That we look like it's the norm, And again, we had the Commissioner of Police saying that, the fear of crime is completely out of the door based on the programs that the Royal Bahamas Police Force is doing. I'm not saying that they're not doing their job, but when you're going to say something like that, I think that's ingenuous because we listened to two mothers. One lost their son,
Yes.
and one son is fighting for their lives. And you heard those mothers telling the younger generation out there, especially the one who lost her son,
Yes.
she is out there pleading to the generation of young men and young females out there to take a look at what you're doing. How many mothers and fathers you're hurting when you
Yes.
take a next life. So I understand where the commissioner is coming from because she is the commissioner of police, and this is what they're trained to do. But those days of that type of policing is over because the Bahamas is a conflict zone. But we have a long, long way to go when it comes to the inner city community, Mr. Thompson.
Yes, I'm not going to disagree with that because I look at my own child rearing, my mother and father, who
Yes,
were
sir.
my example. And I wish all children had a mother and father like I did because I'm now beginning to see. I was so sheltered. A lot of things that were going on around me, I didn't know about those things.
Mm.
So when I have people call in and they tell me some things that they experienced, and I tell them, no, I never went through anything like that. Wherever mommy and daddy sent us, that's where we went. We had respect for our elders. You could never speak against an elder.
Mm.
Never. My mother and father would not take your word over the word of a senior member in the community for nothing. That's just how they were. Because daddy will say, your name would not be called if you were not there.
Yes, sir.
And guess what? He was right all the time.
Yes, sir.
And so was mommy. Okay? So there was discipline, there was order. And I am so disappointed that children are being molested repeatedly. I mean, sexual crimes. You just hear about them every day. Well, what's going on? And then they're talking about people who supposed to have been, what they said, they investigated them or they tested them, and these are able to work with children. I mean, what are we saying, Brother Brown?
Mr. Thompson, again, I have no answers to that particular question. All I know that there's a lot of child abusers out there in this country, whether it's in the church, whether it's on the Royal Bahamas Police Force, whether it's teachers, whether it's community personnel, even in the homes where daddy is going with their daughters. Man, this is crazy. And I think it comes down again. You talk about the Constitution.
Yes.
And I agree fully with the Constitution. And you talk with the Bible.
Yes.
So the Bible tells us these things, and the church, which is the body of Christ, is supposed to be the relief to the people of the nation. Right. Well, the abandonment that has been happening in how much years? You said 50. How much it is? 52 years has caught up to us.
Yes, it has.
It has caught up to us now, and now it's gotten worse.
Oh, very worse.
How is gotten worse? How has gotten worse? When you see suicide increase by over 60%. When you talk about the child abuse.
Yeah, let me just zero in on the suicide.
Yes,
because
sir.
I am finding it difficult. And I've said this publicly on the airwaves.
Yes, sir.
I'm having a lot of problems with this suicide.
Yes, sir.
Because here is a nation that always had the Holy Bible.
You could show it.
I grew up knowing about the Holy Bible, even though some things I didn't understand back then.
Yes, sir.
The Bible was always there.
Yes, sir.
We're a nation that feared God.
It was fire.
Even fired up for that.
Fire.
Yes. There are certain things you don't even allow to be seen among people who profess to be God's people.
Oh, Lord, Mr. Thompson.
Like the Bible tells you, such things ought not to be among you.
Yes, sir.
So what has happened to us? I don't understand this suicide. I mean, it's becoming so prevalent now. It's like drinking water. How we get like this? And I find it difficult. Bahamians who go to church, who had the Bible in their home from birth, been to church, had an understanding about God. that you want to kill yourself. I mean, what do we say? Even going in the graveyard, we were scared.
Mhm.
But the point is, you're talking about taking your own life. How do you expect God to forgive you if you
Yeah.
kill yourself?
There's no forgiveness. You're going
But
straight there.
you can't repent.
You know,
You die in your sins.
I guess it's not being. I guess it's not being taught. You see.
You mean to tell me, but the proliferation of churches around here, all these bishops, all these apostles, all these evangelists. I mean, what are we saying?
Probably they're not anointed. Probably they was not anointed by God to be these bishops and deacons and all these stuff. You know,
That's a possibility.
that's probably the problem right there. They were not chosen. You know, they appointed themselves, and they go into business for the wrong cause. They go to the pleased man and look at a big congregation when it's supposed to save lives and souls.
Yes.
Mr. Thompson. Now, if you look at what is going on right now, how could I trust a pastor when I see all of the scrutiny that's going on with the church? Not only here in the Bahamas, but it was what has been going on for many, many years. And as a young person, I'm saying, hey, this is supposed to be a role model. This is a person who's supposed to be preaching me the word of God.
Yes.
But when I look, they want to marry two men in the church and then hollow. This, you know.
Yes.
So I confused.
Yeah, you would be confused.
Because you grew up with your mom and your dad, you talk with your siblings and all this stuff now.
Yes.
So if I'm a young kid, I'm home and now I'm seeing what's going on in other countries and churches around the world and probably want to hit the Bahamas. I get confused because now my mother and daddy, I watch them, you know.
Yes.
Now all of a sudden two men getting married, two women getting married, right? And then the church pastors, the majority of them, and for those who are doing God's work, this is not for you guys. If you're doing God's work and you're the pastors, it's not for you guys. Then some of the pastors, them like going on podium, speaking, no disrespect to the Free National Movement or to the PLP, but these pastors going on stage and instead of them preaching about God, they're preaching about the leaders of these parties and leaders of the opposition. So again, just confusing.
It is confusing.
Then when you look in the newspaper, you're seeing people in the church. Man, the other day when I listened to the church on Carmichael Road, you get the pastor's family fighting for the church. Oh,
yes.
But man, you see, so if I'm looking for redemption, I going through my hard time. My girlfriend just dumped me.
Right.
I just get put out my house. My rent can't pay my rent.
You rent up.
I only make $300. My bill is $900 or $1,000 a week. Some could come up, and I need someone to talk to.
Yeah, of course.
I need someone to lean on. There's no one to lean on.
Even as young as I am, I have to find someone to confide in. Because you could be overwhelmed.
Of course.
With these issues, man.
And that's what's going on, sir. So people like these who commit suicide, sir, they forget about church. They forget about their mother. They forget about their daddy. And they feel alone. They feel useless. They feel that no one loves them. No one cares for them. They get hurt. So the demons get inside them and persuade them that the best thing for you to do is go jump off the bridge and take your life.
And we've had people doing that.
And we're sending so much people to hell because that's exactly what's going on.
That's what's happening, yes.
You heard the little boy who got sexually abused. He can't even decide if he want a girlfriend or a boyfriend because the sexual feelings when he was penetrated, he had mixed emotion.
He had mixed emotions. Yes.
So he don't know. You understand this, man? Yes. This is crazy. What about him? What about the young guys who get raped in prison who come on? Man, this is crazy. This is crazy. This can't be the Bahamas. In fact, we thought we're a Christian nation. I think we're a Christmas nation. Honestly speaking, Mr. Thompson, there are Christian people in this country who I'm not speaking about. You guys, I'm not talking to you guys. I'm talking with the set who go over this Christianity and they use it for their benefit and they cast in all kind of demons and all kind of people, and that's what's going on in our country. And people are running away from the church and running away from God, and they're going more to the devil because the people who are supposed to light up their lives are not lighting up their lives. In fact, they're taking away their lives, Mr. Thompson.
I think my producer is telling me he has this tape ready.
Okay.
So we got to hear what the commissioner has to say.
Go ahead.
We're going to pull that to pieces.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Mr. Producer. Oh, he's giving government. Okay, all right.
in the past 6 months. We're happy with the decrease. We thank God that His Spirit is lingering over the Bahamas and we are having the decrease. We just need the public to understand that we will not mislead them in any of our investigations or in any information, especially me sitting here to address the public. Everything that we give to you is what is documented in our research and planning and policy department. Those are the people who crunch our numbers daily to make sure that the public has the accurate figures. I believe the good Lord is working with the Royal Bahamas Police Force even more than he has before. And I believe that the officers understand truly their mandate to go out there and give true service to the Bahamian people, and they are doing just that.
Brother Brown,
Yes, sir.
you heard what Madam Commissioner just said?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. She says the guard is more than ever with the Royal Bahamas Police Force at this time,
Yes.
and that they have a certain decrease in crime, and give God thanks, and that again God is working with the Royal Bahamas Police Force, which I think He is. Anything else, Mr. Thompson? You'd like to
Yeah.
ask me? I'll be here in that.
See, the point is, I'm listening to the commissioner.
Yes, sir.
I would like the commissioner, she talk about the mandate that the Royal Bahamas Police Force is supposed to be doing. She got problems with them people at Central.
Yeah.
Does the commissioner know that?
I
The people at Central Police Station do not give any assistance of any kind to the people of Watering Castle. None. And that's been going on for a long time, before Shanta became Commissioner of Police. Now she need to go and get that fixed, because I'm going to tell her that point blank.
She has a handful, Mr. Thompson. She got her hands full.
But she say the force carrying out their mandate.
The force is carrying their mandate.
So what is the mandate?
There's some, they're being like, I mean, that's
Where is the protection for the people of Fort Wayne Castle? Where is that?
Mr. Thompson, I can't answer that because
No, I'm not saying you could answer it, but I'm just asking the question. Maybe someone in the audience who is listening to the show can tell me.
She just doing what she's doing because she is the police chief, and she have to give some type of surety, to the general public that, the police is working at their full capacity to make the lives of the Bahamian people better. But, she inherited a force, with some corruption. And like I said again, to the
What does the new commissioner bring to the table now that the former commissioner didn't have?
I guess she knows something that we don't know.
Well, I can answer that point blank. What does she bring to the table?
Because, Mr. Thompson, let me put it like this, and I give you your answer to your answer to her.
Okay.
When I was a top gangster on the streets in Nassau, New Providence, I heard all the same crap.
Okay.
Oh, we're going to get rid of crime. We're going to get rid of the gangsters. We're going to stop drugs. We're going to stop all that and blah, 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 blah. That's over 25, 30 years ago. And this is the same thing we're getting again from the next commissioner. I've watched 5 or 6 commissioners come and go on my tenure. And when I was a top gangster on the road, I had BK Barnaby, senior. I had Paul Farquharson,
Yes.
Edison Greenslade. I had, what's the next one name now? But anyway, all of them, the 3-4 top commissioners, and they were assigned to eradicate me off the street along with other top gangsters
Yes.
and armed robbers and murderers on the streets.
Okay.
And I've been hearing the same thing over and over. So there's no one more qualified to give you the answer that I just gave you. I've heard it over and over and over. And it's the same rhetoric coming from commissioners over the years. That's their way of, I guess, assuring the public and giving the public some type of what you call them, to make them feel safe. But the public know in the country that you could go anywhere in the country and your life can get taken, even if you're innocent,
Yes,
being
it
at the
can
wrong place at the wrong
That's
time
the sad part about
in
it.
this country.
Because we've had some criminal activity right in Mason's Addition recently.
Yes, sir.
Where there was this big shootout.
Yes, sir.
And I think one of the men died.
Yes, sir.
And he was, I think, more or less an elderly person
Yeah,
in
he
his
just
60s.
was innocent bystander. And I hear one of the youngest, it was a 16-year-old who got charged.
16-year-old, yeah.
And I heard that he's one of my friend, son, who was involved in this incident.
Yes.
All residents of Mason's Addition.
Right.
That's a 16-year-old young guy, you know, he get charged for murder on armed robbery. I know his father, I know his mom. You know, what you think a 16-year-old? What could go in the mind of a 16-year-old
yes.
to go about in his community that he reside in, know some of these individuals, but to block that out and to go open fire and kill innocent people, even though they're looking for their victim. But at the
Yes.
same time, they have in their mind that when they go there, they shoot anybody at any time because of the adrenaline. And you know what it
Yes.
comes down to? It comes down to there are no more God inside these young people. And that's the bottom line. There's no more God inside the young people because, again, the church has failed to inspire people and to teach people what would happen to you if you die.
Yes.
What would happen to you if you die in sin? Okay.
Well,
What goes
let me
around
describe it.
comes around.
Comes around,
You know,
yes.
teach them about Joseph, about
Yes.
forgiveness. When his
Yes.
brothers them sold him,
Sold him,
and he
yes.
became the second in charge of Egypt.
In Egypt, that's right.
And
Next to the king.
he and his enemy, who was the Pharaoh,
Right.
fall in love with Joseph
Yes, he
and
did.
changed the whole Egyptian empire.
Yes.
And then he met his brothers again, and he
Yes.
showed them love.
Yes, he did.
You know, and the story of Joseph, it's like, you know, what we
Excellent
supposed to
story.
be teaching today to
Yes.
our kids. We're not teaching them the consequences on the actions they make in their everyday life. And
Yes.
plus, we live in an old chair to make crucial mistakes because at 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, Mr. Thompson, you might not have made a mistake, but you made one or two mistakes, sneaking on one or two times, the
Of
little
course.
small mistakes. But we have young females who would sneak out and go have sex
Yes.
with younger guys, and they end up getting pregnant. Then
Exactly.
their lives are going to be messed up for the rest of their life. Then their children, it's going to be, it's be 16 or 14, a young girl, get pregnant from a young guy who probably 15, 16. They're not
Right.
going to be together. She don't know how to raise a child. And her child is going to be like, when she reached the age of 20, her child should be like, 4. When she's the age of 25, her child is like 9 years of age.
Yes.
And that 9 years of age, if that child don't have the right upbringing, the right social environment, that child itself, whether it's a boy or girl, is going to become a part of what they learn in that community. That's
Of course.
robbing, that's thieving, that's poverty, that's cursing, that's fighting, boyfriend, girlfriend, police brutality. When they see it in the streets, they're going to see people fighting against one another, and they're going to,
Yes.
it's going to become a part of them.
Yeah, it
And
will
it's going to
become
become a part of them.
yes.
Then we have a next generation of wipers. So the statistics what the commissioner is given is the statistics that cannot reflect on the fact that regardless, we're going to finish with 100 murders. Next year, we're going to finish with 100 murders. Yeah, and year after that, we're going to finish with 100 murders. And that's how it's going to be. So
So being stuck then.
yeah, we in the spin hole.
The lines are open. Bahamians 3260271, 3260272, 8130-271. I don't like this at all because human beings are very important. They're very valuable. God created us to do some things, to be productive in life. You mean to tell me we are stuck in this crap?
Yes, sir.
The possibility exists that more lives are going to be lost, and there's nothing we can do about it.
There's something we could do about it if we can really concern about it. We have all these
Okay.
statistics. We have the suicide statistics. We have the 100 murder statistics.
And now I'm
we have
concerned
the-
about those suicide statistics because I find that very difficult to believe.
People give up, one there, sir. People give up. People worship the devil now. For you to think suicidal, you have to forget about God. You forget about Jesus. Those things are irrelevant to you. That means you are demon. You become demonic and vulnerable. That means you're a vulnerable host. The host itself means the body is a temple of the Lord.
That's
It becomes vulnerable. The Father tells you, say, do not worry, do not fret.
Yes.
What that individual does, he worry and he fret.
Yes.
So the word of God is true. I know, Pastor, but I read the book and I can tell you
It is in
exactly
the
what the
book.
word say.
It
He
is
tell
in
you
the
these
book.
things.
Yes.
Because stress, listen, you know what's the number one killer? stress. It ain't gunshot, it ain't AIDS, it ain't cancer. It's stress. You know what stress come with? Poverty.
Yes.
Huh? I lie.
No, you're not.
Ask
lying.
any doctor. I know doctor, I know pharmacist, but I know one thing when I like to read, and they say stress is the number one killer.
Do you know it's unconstitutional to have stress?
I saw it in the Constitution.
No man, woman, or child
I saw it in the Constitution. I was just reading on the child thing on Act, and it
Yes.
says that the human act that the Bahamas government signed on back in 1997.
Yes.
Yes, it says the Child Protection Act.
The
from
Child
the Ministry
Protection
of
Act.
Education.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I believe you have a call on the line. Caller, you live on air. Go ahead, please.
Hey, good afternoon, Professor.
Hey, what's happening?
And good afternoon, the guest. Good afternoon, the Bahamas. Professor, you on crime
Brother
again?
Brown. Yeah, we on crime. You're talking
That's, you
about
know,
crime.
when you talking crime, what do you want to get?
Crime
Hey,
and politics. We ain't talking politics yet. We can bring that in too.
read the politics today.
Oh, yes, we have to.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, Professor, I listen to Commissioner of Policeman say what you say, right? You
Yes.
throw a little God in there, but so when you throw God in there, all the people of God got help her do little thing up. Help her out,
But
you throw a
is
little
a
God in there.
report accurate and precise? Is it true?
Huh?
Is it reliable? Is a report reliable? Is it dependable?
Yeah, well, we gotta work with her. Because yeah, she's a woman, and them said was doing. And let's, Professor, I can work with her. Listen, Professor, I can throw some things in there. Okay.
Let me
Professor-
ask you this. What does she bring to the table that the former commissioner didn't have?
You got me, man. I can think of these things. You can't ask me right off thing up like that.
You can't answer that question, right?
No, I can do it, man.
Put around laugh.
Put
Put around. Well,
He
yeah.
came to me last time with the crime, but he said, "What you gonna do?" He
Maybe he knows
Yeah,
something. I don't know.
Slick, you see.
No, but I can answer it, but I can't
Yes,
answer
sir.
it right now.
Oh, okay, answer it right now. Okay,
go
good.
ahead,
No, I can answer it.
Okay, go
Professor,
ahead.
listen, what we can do, I listen to what, Professor, just what you say. I listen to what you say. She
Oh, yeah,
say,
I listen very
I
carefully.
catch a good thing if she say, all them people who doing them rape, she ain't saying it ain't us, but he say they reserve. So I know who they pick on the reserve. He
Okay.
said that they reserve. They ain't the real police. That's what I hear her say that. Now I can say fair use, education only. But she did say that. She said that's the fair, that's the reservists them doing them things. But Professor, listen to me. I can help her out. All she need to do when anyone say the policeman corrupt. They don't corrupt police. It's just people them who think what they know, and it, like the movie say, ain't what you know is what you can prove in a court of law. Because we got an awesome law. We got I always remember the people who put this together. First, if I could find who put this together, I could praise them. The Dangerous Drug Dealers Act. I can say it one more time. The Dangerous Drug Dealers Act 2000. Anywhere, any human being, if you have a proof. Now, I don't say what you think and what you know, what you can prove in law. Any officer, if you see them do something and you can prove it, we got a Dangerous Drug Dealers Act. That goes for the drug dealers, and that goes for the policeman, that goes for the politician, that goes for anyone who cannot show where you get your stuff from. And you can't prove you purchase it and you're off your working of your money. Now, the Michigan policeman could use that. But a lot of people just hate other people and they run on with things what they cannot prove. Professor, I can go right there, but let me say it one more time. The Dangerous Drug Dealers Act. Anything you get, what you ain't wait for and what you cannot prove, that goes in the treasury of the government of Bahamas. And Professor, I can end with this. All the politicians them who ain't cleared what they have, clear like they ain't know about this act, the Dangerous Drug Dealers Act. If you get anything and you ain't get it by working hard, that's supposed to go in the government treasury. Professor, I can end with that one.
But caller, don't go yet. Don't go yet.
But
But let's just hang on a little bit. We have what is called Disclosure Commission, right?
Yes.
We got people who ain't even declaring. So what happened there?
And it's a fine in House of Parliament
sir.
and jail time.
You know, you have what
And the fine is very high,
Yes.
10,000 plus.
Yes, in the House of Parliament.
And
But
House
that's
of
a-
Parliament and the
You
Senate.
finish that up?
Yeah.
You hear what the worst prime minister we ever had in this Bahamas said. We don't need no more law. All we need is enforcement.
That's right.
When I
Okay.
hear, and let me tell you all this, why I say still on. Like let other people call. When I hear the law of for the people, everybody going around in the country with flag, you know, the missioner, not the Real Monroe, whatever he is, that's his
Minister.
job. Any flag he see around here, if that color ain't look right, you know, that he was the officer supposed to do, call you down, catch you, pull you aside, and he was to check it. This law, check it, see if that got the right blue, see
Yeah.
if that got the right yellow. And that's this law. So how you can be a foreign flag and all these police pass it?
Yes.
That is against our law completely. Let's say going on that one.
Okay, all right. Well, thank you, caller. So there's law enforcement. There's no enforcement. Who's supposed to enforce the law?
Oh,
The police.
yes, sir.
Are the police enforcing the law? Or are they violating the law?
No, they're not enforcing the law. They are widening the laws on certain fronts, but they're not enforcing the law because, like the former Prime Minister stated, Hubert Minnis, he
Yes.
stated that there needs to be no new law because the laws on the book. What we need to do enforce the laws
Right.
of the country. And I think that we have been unable to enforce the laws of the country based on corruption. I think that's what come down
The
to.
Disclosure Act is a typical example,
Yes.
right?
Yes,
That's
sir.
been there for years. The fine is 10,000 plus,
Yes.
and jail time also.
Yes.
But people are not declaring.
Where's the speaker of the house on this matter? The speaker of the house supposed to be able to address this matter. The opposition was supposed to be able to address the speaker of the house to make this known that there are certain members of parliament who have not disclosed, and by law they should disclose.
be
So the
disclosing.
opposition leader Michael Pintard needs to put a letter before the speaker of the house concerning those MP who have failed to disclose.
Yes.
It's on the book. Enforce the law.
This is Professor Sidney MacArthur Walter Thompson on the Global Radio Network 99.5 FM. My special guest, Mr. Valentino Brown, we're talking about crime, and we're going to be discussing about politics as well, because we've got to see whether there's any connection. And the fact that we have been doing things for so long, and it doesn't seem as if we're getting any better, things are getting worse. The lines are open 3260271, 3260272, 8130271. We'll be back after the break.
326-0271 or 326-0272. WhatsApp us your concerns on 809-2310. Follow us live on Facebook and globalradio99.5fm.com. Express yourself.
This is Professor Sidney Walter Thompson on the Global Radio Network 99.5 FM. My special guest, Mr. Valentino Brown. We're talking about crime, and we can also talk about politics, crime and politics. We have to get that part into as well. But the point is, we have a lot of stress on people not having enough money to be able to meet their expenses. Things are very high. People are all stressed out. The children are asking for something, and mommy and daddy might not have it to give to the children. And then a lot of parents are abandoning the children. I mean, I feel sad. I feel very bad that this is happening in a nation that is under God. What has happened, Brother Brown, to the church? You mean to tell me the church is not upholding the standards of God?
We have moved away from God. Despite all the churches in our communities, we have moved away from God. You know,
why has that happened? Why has the church moved away from God?
I guess that it's too overwhelming for the pastors to see so much crime, rape, and murders and stuff like that. So they themselves become afraid. You know, I don't understand if they read in the book that they should not be afraid. I'm not afraid.
Yes.
I'm not afraid. I still walk the streets every night. Anyone will tell you, I live on the streets and I walk the streets every night. You know, I'm not afraid. I'm cautious, but I'm not afraid.
You have to be cautious. Yeah,
but I associate with younger guys, younger people in the community. I go around to the nightclubs, you know, and I sit down and I observe, because if I want to keep in contact and know what's going on, you have to be able to have a communion, you know.
You have to have a report.
So you could be able to know what's going on in their lives,
you
know, and basically this is what's going on in their lives, you know. And like I said, we are moving away from God. If you ask any young person out there about God right now, they tell you they won't give you an answer. And I'm not saying this. You yourself could go on the inner city community and ask them about God and Jesus, and kids would probably say, you know, they might reference it, but it doesn't mean nothing to them no more.
Nothing to them.
Because they're not seeing it. No one is applying it to them.
Yes.
You know, they're not seeing it. You know, Christ was a giver. He exchanged knowledge.
Yes.
You know, he helped people, you know.
Yes, he did.
He told a taxpayer, you know, you're taxing too much.
Yes, he
you
did.
know, ease up on the taxing. And he listened. What his name was, Ananias or something like that?
Ananias and Sapphira.
And you see what he did? He gave back the taxes. So Christ came to change. He didn't come to challenge government. He come to change the hearts of men who hold government, to make the heart more softer. You don't need to take all of that.
No,
you know, you don't need to take $10 million to your grave. You know you make $10 million. God has blessed you with $10 million. You can't give 1.2 or $2 million back to some less fortunate. And that's what you need in our country. And if the church is not providing that, then it's not providing nothing. You understand? Because people are in need, and that's the bottom line.
No, they're in terrible need.
Yes,
and we just seem not to be able to show that kind of concern.
We're a Christmas nation now, so.
You're a Christmas nation.
Yeah, we're a Christmas nation now. Sorry for saying it like that. We're Christmas. Yeah.
All right, I understand. The lines are open: 326-0271, 326-0272, 813-0271. Bahamians, what are we going to do about this crime? What are we going to do? We can't keep allowing our young men to keep disappearing from under us.
Do you see the papers?
What kind of country are we going to have if we keep up at this rate? They're just disappearing. We have all kinds of shootouts now in the street, in the day and in the night. I mean, what are we saying?
And all the prolific
offenders, yes.
Them said to get killed out. Now, I don't know who he said.
We got a different group.
You know, but those prolific offenders have gone, you know. Some have got killed. Some have went to jail. And those who make it out, they edge their way out, staying in low profile. They're trying to stay with the problem as much as possible in order for them to survive.
Yes.
Because they know that they could be the next victim as well.
Yes.
You understand? Because this gun fu, this ain't respecting nobody, even the innocent.
The innocent can die.
Yes, sir.
That is concern that I have when you have these fellas running up and down in the streets, firing gunshots at one another, or supposedly at one another,
You see,
the guns, shots, the bullets don't have any eyes.
man, Mr. Thompson, you need this,
Whoever's in the way get hit.
Mr. Thompson, you see these guns with these little guys toting? Huh? These guys don't chip gun. They don't go to no shooting range. The communities are small, so when they pull
Very
up on
small,
somebody, these guns them letting know little 32 shots in a space of under 2 seconds.
Oh wow, that's a whole.
You know,
lot.
blah, 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 just
Yeah,
rapid.
I
you
just
know?
hear it rapid firing.
Uh-huh.
You see, and I remember when someone died right a short distance from where I am.
Yeah, so
In fact, it was two.
Two.
Of them.
So
Two
I
of
know
them
the
at
two
that one
guys.
time.
Know the two guys who got killed.
definitely. Yeah, and I had to dash very quickly to shut the lights off.
Yeah, so you don't get a stray away.
Yeah,
Sound
You
like
know,
thunder and
it's-
lightning away.
yeah, man, it was so terrible.
And when the commissioner mentioned that the fear of crime, is going down, that again cannot be, because you yourself know the consequences of living in these inner city
And
communities.
in the community,
We hear gunshots just about every night.
every night. Yeah.
We hear in different communities someone get shoot every night or get injured every night with gunshot in the
Yeah.
country. So how it is that we can be less fearful, And Mr. Thompson, you see this? Kids abused at the Rangers camp. Claims of inappropriate sexual behavior, being
Right.
forced to drink
I'm glad.
turtle water, and of
I heard
being
that on the radio twice today, man.
and this
I was very disturbed over that.
and this year's at the Royal Bahamas Defense Force.
Defense Force. Yes.
Rangers. See again, you have to have screeners. Even when you have these programs, you have to have a
But then
body.
they say to screen the people.
You see? And this,
So who are these people? Who are the screeners who doing the screening? Maybe the screeners need to be
yes, sir.
screened.
Yes, sir.
Huh?
Yes, sir.
Because we weren't having all of this crap in times past.
No.
When I was in the
And it-
community
and it-
helping out with sports and so on.
And
We didn't have this.
we have reports of Defense Force officers as well. And
Yes.
certain instances of Royal Bahamas Police Force officers themselves getting treated better from their superiors.
Okay.
And you understand this is what's going on, and this is where we failing as a country. And you see in all departments, and this is a prime example. Yeah, we want to change. We want to get these kids in the camp. We put them in a camp that's supposed to be responsible. Then we look, the kids are abused at the
Are
camp.
being abused.
Then we look at the homes to get abused at the homes.
Yes, they are being abused
Uh-huh.
at the homes by their relatives.
And then we get the hostel rate here where how much 19 or 20 some kids are at the hospital who themselves looking for a home,
Yes, they are.
Yeah, you understand what you see the position we in?
It's very difficult.
We any pastors addressing these matters?
I haven't heard of any.
And they're supposed to be consistent. See, pastors can make a difference by using their voice, by sticking to these 10 teams. You can stick to 10 teams as a pastor. Say, let's get together as a group of 50 pastors, and we have a child abuse problem. We have a crime problem. Let's stick with this in our 10 years together, or our 15 years, because this is the only way we're going to solve it. And we stick to it. You stick to
You
it.
have to stick to
You
it.
stick to it, and you say, hey, we're going to work with any government who comes in power. We're going to work with any community leader who has an idea on how we could perform to make this
Of course.
program work. We want to
Yeah.
work directly with you, but we want to be able to work together. We need pastors to stick on these things and also provide assurance of solutions along the way. They got the normal sitting down behind the pulpit in the church is over.
Okay.
It's over. You have to go door to door to see how people are in need. You have to.
Yeah,
If you get
they're in terrible need.
If you get a
Terrible
church,
need.
you don't need to preach every day in your church. What to do? A Sunday, get together, comb the streets. Say, you know what? Let's go to these four houses this Sunday. So we're gonna go and we're gonna ask. We're gonna cook some food. We're gonna get 50 or 100 members, and we're going to these four houses. We're gonna simultaneously do these four, and when we finish these four, we go to the next four next week. And then you see this is the ministry what people want. You're gonna find people who can't move out their bed.
No, they can't.
You're going to find people who chronically ill, get HIV, get cancer, and on their way out. And you could put a smile on their faces.
Well, of course.
You know what I mean? And just for them to see, because they're
Exactly.
expecting this. They're expecting
not
to be,
expecting.
they're expecting their toilet to be getting clean,
No.
their dishes to be getting washed from someone in the church. You know what I mean? That's coming and say,
Right,
okay, well, I'm going to help with this, and you're going to help with that, and you're going to help like this. And this is what it is to be Christian. This is what it is to be Christianity, not Christmas.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm looking to see, because I know exactly what the people need and want in this country. this is how the church is supposed to be
Because
now.
there's a whole lot of people. See, when something affects the majority of the people, right?
Yes,
In a
sir.
negative way, that means the country is declining.
Yes, sir.
All
The
right.
statistics points there.
The statistics point to that. All right. And so we have to find a way how to resolve that.
Yes.
You cannot have the majority of your people living in substandard conditions, man,
Yes.
and say you're having a prosperous nation.
No. It's prosperous for the 1%.
For the few,
And that's
that's a very small number.
and that's the politicians. You know, they taking a lot out of us, Mr. Thompson. You know, and this is what people don't understand how
Yeah.
much they're draining us. You know, for every 5 years we elect a different government. But in that 5 years, they do some good programs. But what they take out when they leave out of government, sometimes we look at the budget. Sometimes we look at what the government make in a particular time in a 5 years, and it's be like $500 million or $1 billion or $2 billion. And then when you look, they saying the treasury broke when the next government comes
We
in.
keep hearing that.
Then we look, we seeing certain politicians building their houses and etc.
But Brown, I can have to
go
stop
ahead.
you right there
Go ahead.
because my producer is telling me
Go
you
ahead.
got the clip ready.
Go ahead.
Mr. Brewster, go ahead with the clip, please.
Trusted individuals who have exploited children. And I am very gratified that we are seeing a very aggressive stance by the Royal Bahamas Police Force, the Office of the Attorney General, and the courts in getting these matters into the Supreme Court and adjudication taking place. And there have been many convictions, and many now are in Foxhill Prison. And that is where they need to be. When the Bible speaks to that, you know, you hurt a hair on any one of their heads. When you harm the most vulnerable population for whatever perverse or distorted or sick purpose, I believe you should face the full brunt of the law. That's my personal opinion.
She said many convictions
Yes.
put in prison. Is that really happening?
Boy, Mr. Thompson, I mean, it could
See, I don't know because I'm looking at. I mean, every time you open the friggin' papers
It's
and
so
you
much,
listen to the radio,
but it's so
but
much.
where are these people? Well, I'm hearing what she's saying
Yeah.
about convictions. Maybe there have been a few convictions when these sentences are run concurrently.
Mhm.
A fella does all this criminal activity, and you give him 4 years for all these crimes he's done to run concurrently. What kind of crap is that? The judiciary is falling down.
Yes, sir.
And we say we are a country of laws. What kind of laws do we have when the citizenry is suffering badly from these attacks by criminal elements in the land?
And this was going to knock your socks off. If you do the research on the same person who was committing these abusive offenses, you would see where they was abused themselves.
That's what I understand.
That's how
yes.
crazy this is. That's how crazy this is, because they say 70 to 80% of people who get abused are the ones who are going to be abusers in the near future. So you see why I say we're going in a spin cycle. So
It is a spin cycle.
despite what the Minister of Education, who I think is a good minister, Ms. Glenna Martin, it's a spin cycle. The overall statistics is going to show you that we're going to have a spin cycle, because they're going to show you where abusive kids now in the country who are the age of 7, 8, 9, 10 now, who are getting abused right now in the newspaper, are going to be the next abusive children in the next couple of years in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. You know why? Because they are post-traumatic stress disorder. When they look at their lives being sexually abused, that's going to live with them for the rest of their lives, that experience, and then they're going to be undecided if they don't have the right nurture, means the right set of personnel around them, the right environment, and people who could talk to them about positive solutions. We're going to have this problem over and over in our country. Despite the arrest and conviction, it doesn't make no sense, because guess what? They're going to be other person come right after that who have been sexually abused, coming right back up in this country again and do the same thing over and over and over. We're going to have a little more Archer. We're going to have a little more Abigail and Carmichael Road, who was sexually abused and raped.
Yes.
We're going to continue to have these stuff.
Boy, this is very terrible. This is extremely terrible. I believe in divine healing
Yes, sir.
because it happened to me. And when I explained to my doctor what had happened, he couldn't give me a clear understanding as to why.
Yes, sir.
All right, because I was in church on a Saturday,
Yes, sir.
and what happened was that I had this cold, like my whole body was cold. My bones were cold
Yes,
from
sir.
the crown of my head to the bottom of my feet.
Yes, sir.
And I thought maybe it was the air conditioning.
Mhm.
But ain't nobody else was being affected by it. And then I asked one of the deacons to,
Yes, sir.
call the pastor. And I went by the pastor's office and he anointed me and prayed for me. I explained to him what had happened.
Yes, sir.
I decided now I'm going to go home and rest. And in less than 2 hours,
Yes.
when I got home, less than 2 hours,
Yes, sir.
it was as if nothing had happened.
Mm.
I mean, that was gone. That was a terrible, terrible feeling to have. Your whole body gets cold like ice.
Wow.
I didn't get to go to Doctor's Hospital or the Princess Margaret
You
Hospital.
got spiritual healing.
The man told me, call for the elders of the church
Yes.
and let them come and anoint him with oil and pray for him.
Because there are good people in the church who have good intentions and who are of that spirituality, who has that power.
But see, God tells you this. Call for the elders of the church.
Yes.
But how come they ain't calling for the elders of the church? When the elder himself, when he gets sick, he go to Doctor's Hospital.
So he lost his
And he lay
belief
up there.
because
I told one of them, what the heck you doing in these people's place? And you're supposed to be preaching gospel.
yes.
It's a call for the elders of the church. And then scripture says, if he have committed sins, they shall be forgiven him. In addition to getting healing
Yes, sir.
by the stripes of Jesus Christ, you get your spiritual sins washed away too by the
Yes.
blood of Jesus.
Yes.
That's what the man tells me.
Yes. Yes.
But then people dying in Princess Margaret Hospital and Doctor's Hospital and other places. Is that happening for them? Because we have a lot of deaths happening where people are dying, Brother Brown.
Yes.
And you have to wonder, well, why? What's going on?
It's nothing. Yes, they lost for their lives. They have no, they feel that the whole world gone against them.
These are
and
people in their 30s, people in
40s.
35. I mean, people in the youth of their lives,
we have
under the age of 50, under the age of 40.
and we have some even younger than that.
Younger than
18
that, yes.
and 19 committing
18, 19,
suicide.
yeah, you're quite
And
right.
thinking about committing suicide on the statistics that was just revealed for the 13 to 17-year-olds who 1 out of 5 contemplating. Then now we come back with this next statistics, suicide
Suicide,
increased
yeah,
by
which
over
is very
60%
disturbing.
and older poisons. So you
Yeah,
see,
a bit
it's a
older
young,
person too now.
it's a young and the old.
And the old.
So that's why I'm saying again,
Gee.
the Christianity that we knew back in the day is not reaching where it's supposed to reach because the pastors are saying in the 4 walls, if they come out the church and go door to door on a weekly basis and canvass their community and give assistance to these individuals in the country, you would see a change. And as well, we get government and civil society to understand we have to build up the community by
No, you have to build a community.
build the
yes.
community to make sure that the parks have educational programs, physical programs till probably 7 o'clock. We have to make sure that we have community centers that are available for that particular community. We have to see how we can get BAMSI and small business centers instead of the office of the prime minister with the small business development.
Yeah.
If we get those in each particular community in walking distance of the resident, this could be a step in the right direction.
Yeah.
I heard the minister, I think he's doing a wonderful job, Minister of Housing, Keith Bell.
Okay.
He talked about the FARC and many ideas we talked about of going in the city communities, not to take no one property, but to look at abandoned houses, right? Look at abandoned houses, purchase it, make an offer to the owners if they're not doing nothing with the property or if they don't want to fix it, sell it to government, and government will turn in a low-cost home for at-risk mother or father, which I think is a great initiative because we have thousands of homes in the inner city community that can be refurnished. And I like that idea as well. In fact, I've been talking about it for many years. So things like that we're going to have to do. We're going to allow banking people to rent. I mean, get small loans from the bank as to say how to help them financially.
Could they get interest-free loans?
Low interest. Low
Or
interest.
low interest?
Yes, these are things we
Yes.
have to work on if we want to see better community. And more business people be established. Just say in your community, if we were able to establish 20 small businesses up in that community,
Yes.
and we have 20 small businesses, eventually, with the proper training, with money management, with people coming in from the corporate Bahamas, teaching them on how to sustain and make a profit with their small business and pull them together
Yes.
and as a unit, we could fix a lot of problems in our inner city community. You see, I'm saying, because if we have more business-minded people living in that community, we would be more open to communicate better and to operate better. So when we see at-risk kid in the community, we could be able to come together as a small business owners organization and say, hey, we could do some things to help this kid.
Have this kid,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? We could pool together to do the back to school. We could pool together to fix the house. We could pool together to send this kid to school and make sure she have breakfast, lunch, and dinner in a timely fashion. And one of us could make sure that the kid, has their clothes and etc. Work together as a team. And I think that is the best way we're gonna have that is the best option we're gonna have to do in order to better the community. We have to invest directly in the city community in this country. Government has the program.
Okay.
They has the program, but the program is not reaching the people in the inner city community. You understand?
Okay.
Small business development is offered to the prime minister, and down here on Blue Hill Road,
Those road, yes.
right? But what if we have that in every community? You understand?
Okay,
What if we
yeah.
have pharmacy in every community where people could buy the fruits and vegetables at a cheap price?
Oh, yeah, you could
we
use
have
that.
case onion going for $15 or $20. We have onions going for the same prices, tomatoes going for the same prices, cabbage and all of this
Yes.
stuff available in the community and walking distance and healthy
Okay.
foods. All is the part of Mr. Thompson.
Yes. Okay.
Solving crime in our country.
Yeah, we really need to do that. Yes.
That's the only way, Mr. Thompson, empower the people.
Where are the fathers in all of this?
Fathers are separated in the country, so fathers looking for employment, they don't have no employment, they don't have no future. Fathers themselves are stressed out. They have no futures. I see a lot of the fathers on the streets. They can't even have their children because they can't even have themselves.
We got to fix that problem.
Yes, sir.
We need some strong fathers,
Yes, sir.
particularly for the boys.
We need a strong father figure and mother figure again.
Yes, we
And
do.
build a family structure. The only way we're going to do that if we get the right investment inside the inner city community with the small business development that is going to say, each community has about $1 million or $2 million to put in the small business development to help each and every one of these individuals grow their businesses
Yes.
in the community.
Okay.
And then it's going to be a trickle-down effect because as a small business, we're going to be able to hire other people to clean the roads or to do some maintenance work in the community.
Well,
So
of
the money
course.
trickles down. So when
Yeah.
we're making money, we're hiring a gardener, we're hiring a plumber, we're hiring an electrician, we're hiring
Right.
a phone technician, we're hiring
Yeah.
somebody in the community. So the money started to trickle around
Trickle
instead of the
around
money
in the
going out the
community.
country. Haiti
Yeah.
takes
It
out the
stays
money.
in the community.
Haiti takes out the money. They send that
Yeah.
money back. They
Oh,
earn the
yes,
money
they
here.
do.
So the money's not flowing. You understand? When the money's collected downtown Bay Street from all the major restaurants, you see a armor truck goes
Road
to the
right
airport, goes to
And it goes
Canada,
out of the country.
and goes to the country. We need
Yeah,
the
it
money to
does.
circulate in the community to empower
Yes.
the people. And once we have the economy.
I think we got to go to break. Yeah, this is Professor Sidney McGarter, Walter Thompson on the Global Radio Network. My special guest, Mr. Valentino Brown. You're talking about crime. We got to talk about the politics of crime now. We'll get to that. This is Professor Sidney McGarter, Walter Thompson. The lines are open 326-0271, 326-0272, 813-0271. We'll be back after the break. special guest, Mr. Valentino Brown. We're talking about crime in the country. We have some major crimes, we have some community crimes that are being committed, and we need to have people coming together. The Constitution, Article 24:1, speaks to the fact that people need to work together, particularly when it comes to these areas where it requires the cooperation of people. Now,
Yes,
I
sir.
always say, Brother Brown,
Yes, sir.
for real change to occur,
Yes, sir.
people must become righteous in their dealings,
That is well.
one
Yes, sir.
with another.
Yes.
Because scripture says, when the righteous are in
Yes.
authority, the people rejoice.
Yes.
All they will do is rejoice till Christ comes
Yes.
back. The question has to be asked, do we have righteous people in authority? I'm not saying you must answer it now. Just think about it.
I can scratch me on that one.
Scratch your head on that
All
one.
right.
Yeah. Just think about it because
Okay.
you will see the results. God does not play games. He says, when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn, in that same verse.
Okay.
And I tell people we got to learn to listen to God. Where is God in our knowledge?
Wow.
This is something we need to think about.
Mm.
Do we want God in our knowledge? Do we want him in our community affairs? Do we want him in our political affairs?
Okay.
Because he has a lot to say about it.
Yes.
If we're serious about it,
Okay.
we cannot have people who have been hoodwinking and lying to us in the past,
Okay.
who now come out of the closet
Mhm.
because they think you don't forget.
Yes, sir.
They said it last year. They said it last week. They said it last month. But you don't forget that, so now they come up with something else.
Yes, sir.
And you will find that politics make strange, bad fellows.
Yes, sir.
So we have to ask ourselves, what is it that we expect from a parliamentarian?
Wow. One thing, if when you're finished, I'll try answer the best.
No,
I can.
no, I understand that. But I just want to elaborate a little bit further.
Mhm.
We are going to have a very serious election.
Yes, sir.
I think the most serious ever in the history of an independent Commonwealth of the
Because a
Bahamas.
lot is at stake.
Tremendous
financially.
amount is at stake.
Yeah, major projects by this government. They have got investors in the billions in the country, so it's a lot at stake, especially for them.
We have had people who have made announcements.
Mhm.
See, now there's a difference between an announcement and something actually being done. We had a situation in Grand Bahama, and I'm hearing some other things now, where they had this rejoicing, people dancing in the streets when they were talking about the Lucayan
Yes,
Hotel.
sir.
I understand they can knock the thing down,
Mm.
the people who bought it,
Wow.
or who it was reported they bought it,
Yes.
because we ain't sure. We don't know. The man told us he'll let us know when the money was in the bank.
Yeah. So
The hotel is now with somebody else.
not truthful at all. The
So they're
information
knocking
is
it down. They're not renovating it, they're knocking it down. So, something else is happening there.
here. Yes, sir.
And we don't know because the government has not told us whether they got the money or
not.
whether it has been sold. We were made to understand it was sold.
Mm.
So the thing is, we have to ask ourselves, what is it that we expect from the government of the Bahamas as it relates to crime?
Mm.
Because crime seems to be big business for some people.
Yes, you got a lot of criminal lawyers, you know.
Oh, yes, you do.
And then a lot of deals to be making around the courts and etc. And we saw, previously with the former superintendent of CDU.
CDU, yes.
We had when he was allegedly got caught on a voice note
Voice
talking
note.
to a former gang leader turned armed robber who is now deceased.
Deceased, yes.
On the voice note, we could hear that the chief superintendent, he was talking like, he would allow them to not be charged if certain amount of money was given to him in the voice note. It was repeated like saying about $50,000. So I heard in the voice note, I ain't no baser. You got to give me $100,000+. So it shows you right there, sir.
Yeah, that is a problem.
Yes, sir.
That's a very serious problem. Now, we are being told
Yes, sir.
Do not judge an organization based on the actions of a particular personality.
Are they crazy? What you mean? Why shouldn't I not judge? Why?
That's what being told now.
And what organization you're actually talking
I'm
about?
talking about the police force.
Why? Because it's a brotherly organization where they protect one another. It's about truth. It's about truth because they have children. What will happen to their children? Which it will happen to their children, not simultaneously. You think your children's gonna miss it? You think only the poor people children are gonna go through this police brutality stuff? It doesn't work like that. Even those who are now forces children themselves would get abused. So you can't allow it to happen. You have to speak up.
Of course,
you have to speak up.
That can happen. Yes.
What you mean that poison on the organization? You know,
that particular personality in that high-ranking office has a poor reflection on the Royal Bahamas Police Force.
Of course, because other people are picking up.
So then, how are you supposed to deal with it?
What you have to do with it is understand that we have a problem. Now you need to put the mechanism in place to make sure this never happens again. You have to put a team of private body, entity body who oversee corrupt officers.
I have heard that kind of remark made over and over again.
Yes.
To prevent this from what? Happening again. But doesn't it happen again?
Yes, because again, it's a fraternity and the force protects itself. And the thing it is, we're supposed to be living off of truth.
Yes.
And justice.
Yes.
But we can't live off lies and deception.
No, we can't.
And if something happened in the particular organization, you're going to have to speak on it. Because if you're not speaking on it, it's only going to get worse. You hide it, it's going to get worse. That's why the Bible tells you what you do in the dark comes out in the light. That's why all the stuff they've been doing for all those years come out the light. And you see what had to happen? It had to get exposed to the United States of America, not here in the Bahamas. With Curtis and then the superintendent get exposed here
yes.
in the country, the Bahamas. How long have that been going on? And for anyone to say that on the Royal Bahamas Police Force, that means you are part of corruption too. It means you are doing wicked too. You say when righteous leads, you're doing righteous lead in the belief the CID. Do you think the righteous, who some of these people claim to be Christian, you know what I'm trying to say? What I'm saying, a lot of them is Christians and deacons and pastors.
Yes.
And these ones are involved in the most heinous set of wicked crime in the country.
Do you know the Bible says God's people have wicked ways?
Oh, Lord.
That's what the man tells me.
Huh?
God's people have wicked ways. God said we have to repent. 2 Chronicles 7:14. If my people which are called by my name
Because you become proud.
humble themselves, pray, seek my face, and do what? Turn from their wicked ways.
Yes.
And God don't tell lies. If he says people got wicked ways, we do.
Yes.
We just have to repent of them. I believe we have a call on the line. Call you live on here. Go ahead, please.
Good day, Professor.
Hey, what you say, man?
I'm right here. Scoochie,
Hey.
I'll catch up with y'all.
Bless up.
You ain't get back to me with that sewer problem to Lewis Street from this
You
morning.
sound so low.
You know what?
Ask him if he
Is
can speak a
it
little
low?
louder. Yeah.
What's the update?
Huh?
They fixed that sewer problem yet?
You know I had to come on Mr. Thompson show.
Yeah, okay. Well, anyway, I say call me when you get back on and let me know the update so I could call Michael Trinidad and tell him get on top of that.
Yeah, okay, sir.
That's an environmental health. And they need to fix that. Don't be selling no pickaxe and no thing around there. We got to take care of our people.
Okay, Mr. Rice.
You see, I'm Professor.
Yes, sir.
I want you to call me later because when they talking all of these things around here, but they doing all these other stuff with these airport and Family Island Renaissance and everything. I want to speak to you in reference to that illegal runway at Pittstown down in Crooked Island because something happened yesterday.
Okay.
And something moved. You have to call me later.
All right, fair
So
enough.
the him and people them could know. Okay?
Okay, I'll do that.
They like to cover up for each other because we still need to find out where that king here is. Where they passed that $2.5 million in the House of Assembly last year.
I heard about the king here.
Indictment supposed to be coming up with those fellas, and I know which day it is, but it should be very soon.
Okay.
Okay?
Yes, sir.
Y'all take care.
Okay,
All right. Well,
okay,
thank you
bro.
very much.
Okay, okay,
Thank you
Rice.
very much. Yeah. He was
Yeah.
talking about
Yeah.
the airport.
And things
Yeah.
like that. You know?
You
Things
know,
like that.
I think that there's so many things that are happening which confuse people, and we got to be upfront and honest with one another if we're gonna see any improvement
Mhm.
in the country. See, when God puts down certain things for us to go by, we have to work at going by those things.
Else?
Otherwise, if we keep telling lies, we're going to see the result of the
And
lies.
this is what happened in the country now. He
Yes.
said when we go away from him, turmoil
Turmoil-
happens to your
turmoil
country. And that's what's
happens
happening in
in
our
the
country.
country.
So what?
Yeah.
This is to the Bible. So I'm saying this is the Christian people and people who
Yes.
lead in the country. We are in time of turmoil. The Bahamas is a conflict zone.
It is.
You understand? So we are in turmoil. We only 21/7, even though we have 700 islands, 700 keys. We
Yes.
are in turmoil.
But the vast majority of people are right here
Yes, sir.
on the island of New Providence.
And they're taking it. And when they leave from here, they're taking this demons, where they get here, the
Yes.
same attitude where they get here,
Yes.
and they take it to the wherever they go.
Wherever they go.
Wherever
that's
they go.
correct. That is quite right. Yeah.
So that's what the Bible talks about right now. It spread like
You know,
wildfire.
it's a very sad state.
That's
of
why when you
affairs.
talk about one bad apple in the Royal Bahamas Police Force, if it's superior, okay, what you think happened right now on the force or any organization?
Yes.
If it's superior, it's a wicked person or it's not a righteous person.
Okay.
What you think gonna happen to the officers who are under him? He's not gonna be in charge of them for the rest of their lives.
No, you wouldn't.
What they learn from him? What they learn
But
from
they
him?
learned some terrible things from him.
I mean,
That's going to spread.
It's gonna spread.
Yeah, it would.
So ask yourself the question: do you think it's just Curtis? Do you think it's just the other guy,
The
Johnson?
possibility is
Right.
that there would be others who would be involved.
Right. And like I say, some of them are pastors.
But they just haven't been
So how
named.
many people you think has the same attitude as these senior cops? Don't you think they have other officers under their wings who they train the same way? So you don't
Yes.
think we need a private entity that can actually be there, not a
And
part
be
of
able to-
government,
yeah, but not a part of the state, but be able to investigate these
just like how we can get a jury
Yes.
from different parts of the country?
Yes.
Well, we do the same thing. Pick highly persons with integrity who
Yes.
we know have integrity with no background check. Make sure you're not a sexual predator. You know, your record is spot on. To sit on the board and to monitor these officers and their
You have to, because they obviously they can't police themselves.
right. And that's
That's just not happening.
you know.
And what bothers me is the fact that we waste so much money. Because every time when you hear of a new administration coming in, they always tell you the treasury was empty.
Yeah. So again.
So what are we saying then?
So all that investment we do in this 4 years right now, and if the Free National Movement or a coalition of independents get in, they're going to tell us the treasury broke. So where are all those $1 billion investment gone? Where they
just
going?
disappear.
They go in the hands of the politician who comes in there. You know, most of these politicians come in there. Some of them are wealthy, some are doctors, some are lawyers, but some of them come in there with less amount of money, and when they leave, I don't know what the estimate it is, but we know they leave with their millionaires, and that's the taxpayers' money, and we all know that, and that's the same money could be trickling down to these individual communities to start a
Well, of
BAMSI
course,
program.
because obviously you have such a large volume of people who have so little, Brother
Yes.
Brown.
Yes, sir.
And that stress comes on them when they can't manage them couple of dollars because the expenses are so high
Yes, sir.
over the little that they have. And
Yes.
it seems like the little that you have, you got to keep stretching and stretching and stretching to go this, to go that.
Yes.
Some things can get left out.
Yes, sir.
Just like the police force being overwhelmed
Yes.
with investigations,
Backlog case.
something's going to get left
They
out.
need 2,000 officers right now to man the Bahamas. 2,000 they need. And they have hundreds who are either on sick leave or are not fit or properly trained to be police officers. So I guess that's why Commissioner Shanti knows, saying that those officers who commit those abusive crime, are reserved what difference does it make if you're a reserve corp or not? You're on the Royal Bahamas
Royal
Police Force,
Bahamas
so you're
Force.
still supposed to do a background check.
Well, of course.
You understand? And
Of
that,
course.
and I think this again. I think a lot of these abusive cases can relate back. I'm not discriminating, but I think people who have a tendency to be man to man or woman to woman should not be physical education teachers or shouldn't be teachers on the whole, because what you're going to teach the kid is immoral. You understand? I don't think
Yes.
you should be a teacher. I don't think that's just my opinion, you know. And I'm
No,
not
you have
being,
a right to express
I'm
your
not being
opinion.
disrespectful to the individuals who in this profession, but then if you keep it from your work and you're not able to pass it on to the kids, like try to manipulate the kids, the boys and girls, to become a part of that clique.
That click.
That
yes.
clique, instead of being a family value, and you want to become like that, that is not going to be acceptable. And you should have a background check with teachers, with anyone. It could be on the defense force, it could be on the police force, to make sure they don't put their own sexual preference on the younger generation.
We'll come to that. Yeah, I think we have a call on the line. Caller, you live on air. Go ahead, please.
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Yeah. Hey, how are you?
I am good. Thanks very much.
Yes, sir.
Let me tell you something. This hit me today. That's why it's so ironic when I came by and listened to your show today.
Yes.
You're talking about crime in the Bahamas.
Yes, we are.
And as I was driving up the little road today, I saw a lot of incidents that happened. I mean, just the Bahamas is out of control right now, I'm sorry to say.
Okay.
But I do believe the condition of a country reflects its police force, its police enforcement agency.
Yes, sir.
To the T. You're looking at, I saw today, and you're looking at the Bahamas police force, because what they're not enforcing or enforcing is reflective of their services. Because I'm old enough to look back in the day when we were little kids, looking at these giants of policemen. Like I was a kid, and they literally looked like giants to me.
Yes.
But not only in stature, but in integrity and decency.
Yes.
Now,
Yeah, that's how they
today,
were.
Yes.
you know how I describe the police force? You remember when that police slapped that Jamaican guy in the back of Rawson Square?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
That's
yes.
how I see the police force today.
Yes.
Thuggish, young, out of control, and I'm sorry to say, not as well dressed as the old guys. And not that
No, that's
being
true.
well dressed is an issue,
That is true.
but these guys, I mean, the older gentlemen used to display such a
Dignity.
class. And then, now we go back and people would say, well, those guys were from Barbados and Trinidad and all those places. Yes, maybe. But nevertheless, they perpetuated that old English culture we had. And I'm not ashamed to say it. People like to say we're from Africa, but all I know is English. That's who I came up under. I know I'm
Yes.
African. I know slave history and all that kind of stuff. But we had it so well. I'm dealing with policemen every day. Right now I'm going through a case. And I have to deal with the police force every day. And I have nothing bad to say about them, to be honest with you. They treat me good because, I'm an older guy. They usually treat the older guys good. But when it comes down to the younger guys treating the younger guys, you see where the disrespect comes in because of the age difference. And sometimes the young guys will call me homeboy. And I got to remind them, no, I'm not from your home, wherever you're from, and I'm not your boy. But these things of I think it's based on culture.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
we have been brought up from manners and respect. And I believe that's what the police should encourage these guys to be more, because you're
Respectful.
protecting the servant. I saw you do some stuff, man. It was amazing. The young guys, they got muscles and all that kind of
Yes,
stuff.
sir.
But they gotta really homer in their skills to be more how to think. I'm sorry to say, but more professional.
Yes.
Yes.
Professional, leave it right there. And I'm not saying you're not professional now, but I'm saying just focus on professionality as the job description provides.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
So right.
Yeah, but that's good.
So right,
That's
so
a good,
right.
good
Yes.
contribution. Yes.
Yes. You're so right, Mr.
You know.
Thompson.
Because what he said about in former times, yes, I agree with that. Because the police officer was highly respected.
Yes.
And we looked at them in a different light. But today now, with all this stuff going on, that has eroded tremendously because of the quality of the people you have
Coming on the
that you
force.
have to deal with.
Yes.
So they're coming on the force.
Yes. The commissioner said that. She said that, and the Minister of National Security said that a lot of they need 2,000 additional Royal Bahamas Police Force officers.
Right.
And he also stated that there are hundreds of officers who are on sick leave, and
Yeah.
there are hundreds of officers who are not ready for the field, means that they're not properly trained.
Mhm.
You understand? So
Right.
the caller was completely correct. The police back in the day, were very respectful on how they dress and how they approach
Of
the general
course.
public.
Yeah.
They treated like it was a profession, and they were so happy to be a police officer.
Of
And we were
course.
more respectful to police officers
Yes,
back
you
in
are.
the day.
Yeah,
But
back
now,
in the
again,
day.
the promotion of both political parties are putting commissioners, police commissioners in place, has taken away the integrity of the hard-working officers who probably could be commissioner or deputy commissioner of police,
That is
but
a
they would,
possibility.
but they'd never get it
Never get
because
it.
they're not a part of that circle,
grouping, yeah,
and
that
they
circle.
denied that.
Yeah.
And for that, the morals of the Royal Bahamas Police Force has completely diminished because it takes away opportunity for so much good cops who want to do good and have a solution for the country, but they're not part of the PLP, they're not a part of the field national movement. And I think the call is correct on what he is saying.
No, he's very much correct
Yes.
because he grew up in those times. That's why I'm saying that I am very, very disturbed when I see the parents. We have a caller, Mr. Producer? Caller, you live on air. Go ahead, please.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good
Good
afternoon.
afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon.
Hey.
Yeah, you mentioned that we need more police officers. Listener said that, right?
What did he say?
I
didn't
thought you
quite
break
get
up
it.
just now. I couldn't hear clearly.
No, I said the commissioner said that we need more police officers. 2,000.
Yes, sir.
Why would we need more police officers? Nobody knows that about that. This town is basically overrun with illegal migrants. You take away, I mean, at least 200,000, but we got much more than that to be reported. And we'll be right back to normal. All the suicides, all the crazy shit there, we'll be right back to normal, man.
Wow.
When you take it down, those are the people who basically belong in the country, and you see them above your citizenry, the police operating, roadblocks and stuff. They're looking at stars, but when I'm looking at what's going on, I see a bunch of illegal people walking up and down, Indian tribes and things, whatever, and they're not being checked. And the government ain't really doing anything about it. I feel that what's going on in this country is basically perpetuated by a government that wants people to be in this country who ain't supposed to be in this country, who basically fly a different flag, speak a
Okay.
different language.
Wow.
All right. Okay, caller. Well, thank you for your contribution.
Here's some strong words just now. Mr.
No, they
Wilson.
are very strong indeed.
Yeah. I know.
Because see, I am saying that when I'm looking around, I heard what the Prime Minister said,
Yes.
that there's not a crisis.
And he came back and he retracted from it. He said there's a crisis now.
He's saying it's a crisis
He
now?
says the crisis now. He said the crisis now. He come and retracted. It's in the newspaper. He said one thing and he came back and he said we have a problem right now. He's saying that a lot of unskilled Bahamians a lot of unskilled Bahamians, are not qualified for the job. And
I heard him talk about the job.
yes,
Say that there's this tremendous
Yes.
discussion going on. You
and that's
see that
why
happening?
we have this coming to the Bahama shores for the dollar for dollar value. That's what he said. It. He corrected himself. We do have a crisis, and the call is correct.
We have an immigration crisis.
Yes. So probably those 2,000 officers could probably walk the streets, stop people, ask them for their identification, and then do immigration raids. I guess
We
that's.
haven't had any mass deportations out of the country.
And the man just said we had 13,000 people deported out of the country. Mr. Thompson, the Minister of National Security, and the Prime Minister.
I heard from the Minister of National Security
Uh-huh.
because I got the documentation on that, what he said. But the point is, there are many strangers in this country right now,
Yes.
all over the island.
Yes, all over the island.
So what about them?
I guess they're gonna slip through the cracks. I guess, boy, I know.
Okay.
I know it's a problem.
Give us your last comment because we're getting to the
The only thing I like to say is, just try to praise God.
we have to praise God.
Talk to your loved ones. If you have a family or friend, who haven't talked to in a long time, probably talk to them and ask them for some type of assistance. Learn to apologize and learn to
Oh, yeah,
forgive.
you have to.
You understand?
You gotta
Because
forgive.
if you do these things, you will be healed, and God would open all kind of doors for you. I can tell you this from me. I stopped hating. I just gave my life to God. I asked Him to open the doors for me, and so many doors opened for me. And now I'm looking up a bright future, and I want to see that the same thing happen for you guys. So that's my last word. I just want you to
But it
put your trust in
certainly can.
God, but also apply yourself. Also go there and try.
Yeah.
Don't let nothing just want to drop out the sky. Go there and try and try and try again.
Yeah, we have to
and
keep
you will be
trying.
successful.
Amos, we got to listen to what God says because we have to have God in our life. That's why I find it hard when I hear about the statistics on suicide. But now I'm understanding that these people have turned away from God,
That's right.
or did not know God at all.
That's
Period.
right. That's
Because
right.
the parents didn't know about
That's
God.
right. And the Bible tells you that those who know and those who don't know. Remember, the Bible tells you those who know and those who don't know. Those who don't know, He said that they still have a chance or something
Yes,
like
they
that.
do,
You remember?
yeah.
You understand?
Yes, that is
Okay.
true. That is true.
Okay.
Yeah. So we have to do better. Those
Yes,
of us
sir.
who know better.
Yeah.
This is Professor Sidney Walter Thompson. I've had as my special guest, Mr. Valentino Brown, talking about crime and politics in this show today. Tomorrow, of course, we'll have another show tomorrow. I want to deal with what's happening in Grand Bahama. And I want the people in Grand Bahama to call me and let me know. Because I'm hearing all kind of different things now. I'm hearing a lot of announcements. But now, are we going to be falling into the same rut as has happened previously? We got to be very careful with what we hear and not jump to quick conclusions to think, well, something's going to happen. You have your hopes up and then it's dashed right down again.
Given one shot, now it's going to be demolished.
That's what they tell me, that they
everyone's
get
jumping up
demolished.
down the other day. Now it's going to be demolished.
So what's going on?
Yes. That's, we just need the truth on
This-
everything we do.
Well, I got to stop now. This is Professor Sidney Walter Thompson on the Global Radio Network. Thank you very much for participating, audience. We appreciate that. Please participate in the show tomorrow. And thank you, Brother Brown, for coming here. And Global is a good station, very good station. This is Professor Sidney Walter Thompson on the Global Radio Network, 99.5 FM. The Hamans, please pray for the nation and stay safe. Have a pleasant afternoon.
Stop playing.